All right, now that we've got our Prairie Fresh St. Louis cut ribs out of the pack here, I'm gonna take a look at them. Looks like this slab's gonna be a little bit bigger than this one. I'm gonna take and trim off some of this flap meat here. Go ahead and get it off. Now, I'm gonna square up the ends here. You see when I pull that flap meat off there? Just go ahead and go right up beside that bone there. I'm gonna knock that off. Now I'm gonna go down here and knock this single bone off on the end right here. I always knock those single kind of end bones, not much meat to that. Go ahead and get this one off. Just trim a little bit more of this flap meat off. Now I'm gonna turn this rib around and kind of go, just lay my knife down and just scan right across it to make it even. Kind of see what I'm doing here? I'm gonna peel the back side of that rib down and come down and cut it off. Right there like that. Now that you got that done, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna square this rib up. So if you see I've got it running right with the bones here, you kind of see when I take my knife and I run up through here, there's not but a little bit of this rib that needs taken off to square it up perfect. So I'm gonna come in here and go down on that cartilage bone and just cut. Now, this is gonna be your rib tips that a lot of people here in the South, including myself, like to cook up and eat. That's a good pitmaster snack. These make good. They even sell them on sandwiches and in plate lunches around here at gas stations in Mississippi. You can get them about anywhere. So we're gonna keep trimming on this rib here. I think the top of that rib looks pretty good. Get that off. Top of that rib looks real good. Now we gotta go back and skin these ribs in just a minute, but we'll get them after we knock a few more pieces off of this old big rib over here. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna push my bones, kind of turn them, right? And I'm gonna look at the back of this rib compared to this one, and I don't think we need but a little bit taken off of it. Now it's totally up to you if you do this, but if you see all these cartilage bones running in here, it's gonna make it easier to cut if you kind of cut that off of there. So I'm gonna go right behind this cartilage bone here and go up through here. And go down. Now, there's another set of rib tips. Now, I did not cut this end off. Let's go ahead and do that. Get it off. Now, I'm gonna get a little more of this flap meat off down this one. This is kind of big here. You just wanna stay on top, come all the way down. Just like so. Now, once you kind of get all that off of there, I'm gonna turn this rib over. Now this rib here is gonna have some thick pockets of fat. I can feel it with my hand here, and I know that smoke's not gonna penetrate that all the way. So I'm gonna take and shave a little bit of that hard fat off right there. Come back and get a little bit more of that. Now that's down where that's gonna render right there. Now a quick, easy way to ensure that's gonna render, you can take and poke a little holes in that, kind of help it just a little bit. That's totally optional. And I'm gonna knock a little bit of this heavy fat, kind of how it flares up on the end of this rib. I'm gonna knock a little bit of that off right here. Now, once we get that knocked off, those ribs are pretty much ready to be seasoned, except for skinning the membranes. So let's go ahead and knock these out. So when we were skinning those baby back ribs, it's so much easier to take your thumb and get under there. When you get to these St. Louis style ribs, it is a little bit harder because you don't have the arch of that bone, and you've got all of this back of this membrane going up beside all this flap meat here. So it's kind of harder to tear off, let's face it. So I'm gonna go in here with my thumb and see if I can't get under one of these bones, and I may have to have the assist of a paper towel on this one. Well, I got most of it, but you can see it left a little bit here and a little bit here. So let's just move down. And get that piece off. And that piece. Now that rib is skinned. So this one here looks like it's gonna give me some trouble. I tell y'all it's cold out here today. Now you kind of see what I said, it was gonna give me a little bit of trouble there, how it kind of ripped in half. I could tell by the kind of thick pocket of fat right here. I'm gonna take my thumb and just kind of go under that. Keep ripping it and just keep tearing. Now right here is kind of where you want to get your paper towel at, that last little bit. Go ahead and tear any of that off. Grab anything you see that you want to get off. I think everything else is good on these ribs and they're ready to be seasoned. So today we're gonna go our garlic jalapeno rub as a base, and we're gonna go our honey chipotle rub. Cooking a little bit of hot honey maple ribs. So let's get a binder and let's get some seasonings on.